He asked the creative director after we shot that day, like, can you ask Bianca if she's available to come to LA and be in my music video? So that's forever going to be something that like stays in my heart, because it was like, yo, this man asked for me to be there.
Our next guest actually doesn't need an introduction. Her reputation precedes her, and it's actually easier to ask her what she hasn't done in the dance music industry and what she has. Now, the number of art forms regarding music that she's involved in is as diverse as the many different colors she would dye her hair. Y'all already know who it is. Hey! What's going on?
What's up?
Good to see you. Thank you for being on the show. I feel like it was only a matter of time, you know?
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So let's get straight into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, so I know you're big into branding, right? I want to start with the name, BB Bad. I did my research and I know why your name BB Bad, like your artist name. But tell the people, let them know what it's about. Like.
So BB is actually my nickname. I kind of grew up, people have been calling me that forever. And Bad is actually my initials, Bianca Adriana Dykhoffs. And when I created I created an Instagram and I was trying to figure out like what should be my name. I was like 14, 15 at the time, and my sisters actually came up with that name. And ever since then, like, you know, ever since I've been dancing and, you know, getting out there, it just became like the thing. She is BB Bad, and that's it.
All right. So let's do a little rundown on, for the people who don't know you. What is your profession? What do you do in the music world?
Well, I'm a professional dancer, now DJ, professional choreographer, director. I've been dancing ever since I was 5 years old on St. Martin. Left when I was 18 to New York to pursue a professional career in dance. And
now, in terms of the art forms of music, was playing piano your first love?
Actually, that's a funny story. It was violin.
Violin?
From young, yeah. I used to play violin first. From young, I just always loved music, and I was always like, whenever I'll be driving in the car with my mom, I would always hear like the violin in like every song, and I'd be like, you hear that instrument, you hear that, do-do-do. So my mom was like, you know what, I need to put this child in some kind of instrument. So started with violin first, and then I joined piano like months after that. And then shortly after that, I realized that I could play by ear. And then I just kept playing and playing and playing. Eventually, I left the teacher that I used to train with, and then I moved on to somebody else. And then I dropped violin because I just wasn't really getting the training that I really needed. And piano was just so much easier for me because it just came naturally, that like it was just something that I always used to practice on my own. But yeah, I've been playing for like most of my life. It's probably been like 7, almost 8 years of like classical training. And yeah, most people don't know that, but it was violin first.
All right. And then professional dancing came at what stage in your life exactly?
Well, like I said, I've been dancing since I was 5. And it wasn't only until I was about like 15 that I was like, maybe I could actually take this serious and pursue a professional career. But I wasn't really sure until I actually left the island at like 18. And even then I still wasn't sure. I went to New York and I was like, what am I even doing?
Right. No, I definitely understand the mental aspect of it. Could have been tough.
Yeah, of course.
Now, BB Bad, you know, big events, big music videos, films, right? What would you say is one of your notable or your most favorite events that you would have undertaken?
I feel like for most people, it was definitely like Sean Paul or Chris Brown. Everybody, like, up to this day, I still get messages like, oh my God, how was it working with Chris Brown? Like, oh my God, Sean Paul, you know? But for me, I would definitely say Sean Paul was really a moment for me because he personally asked for me to be in his music video. So for me, that's something that I will forever be like so proud of. That like he met me on set in New York and we spoke, and I was like, yeah, from St. Martin, and he was like, oh, you know, I've been there like years ago. So it's like that Caribbean connection, you know, like when you meet Caribbean people outside of the Caribbean is a special connection, you know. So he was like, yeah, this girl is so dope, and he asked the creative director after we shot that day, like, can you ask Bianca if she's available to come to LA and be in my music video? So that's forever going to be something that like stays in my heart, because it was like, yo, this man asked for me to be there.
Yeah, and it's Sean Paul. It's like who we grew up with,
he's
right?
like, oh my God, like at my birthday parties when I was younger, like my sister, we used to choreograph stuff like for my birthday parties, and like I used to get all my friends together, we used to battle the guys, all to Sean Paul music. So it's like to see that like turn around and me be a part of like, you know, his vision. It was just like dope, you know.
Now there's a lot glamorous about the dance music industry, but still on the other side is a very volatile, ruthless type of industry. Now my question related to this is, how does mindfulness and meditation help in that sense?
That's an amazing question. I love that. Honestly, if it wasn't for my mindset, I don't think I would be able to be in this industry today and like survive and be healthy. You know, already like moving from St. Martin to a place like New York, the concrete jungle, you know, it's like polar opposites, you know, and it took me a long time to get comfortable, to really like love what I was doing and meet people. So it was a long struggle, a long, hard struggle. And I feel like because I was always so grounded, I've been meditating ever since I was like 16 years old. And I always kind of had a sense of like being sure of myself. That like I was able to like navigate through the industry without, I don't want to say without much struggle, because I did struggle a lot, but like I found myself beyond the struggle, you know. And like when I observe like other dancers and artists in the industry, sometimes you see them really beating up on themselves for like small things. Like you go to an audition, it could be so many reasons why somebody says no, you're not working for this part, but people take that to heart, you know. But for me, I'm just so like, I don't take things too serious. I believe that everything happens for a reason. So I can't beat up on myself for the things that I don't get. I can't beat up on myself for like making a mistake or like, you know, not getting the things that I want, because there's always something out there greater for you. You know, so just having that mindset helped me continue to move on, you know, and not beat up on myself or think that like it's not working out for me, you know. But it was definitely, it took years, and I really want people to know that it took years to like cultivate that type of mindset. Like you really do have to go through the dirt first to come out of it, you know. But of course, people always only see like the 1 minute Instagram video, or like they see all the popping stuff, but they really don't know like all the behind the scenes, you know. So definitely a huge part of it. And
is dancing forever for you, or do you what do you think?
Definitely not. I know a lot of dancers who want dance to be there forever, but for me, it's more like a goal that I want to accomplish. I guess you could kind of say it's the ego in a sense, you know. It's not like my purpose, you know. It's not this thing that's going to, for me, that's not going to be how I really change the world. This is a platform for me to get to a certain level of reaching people, to be able to then affect people in a positive way. Not saying that dance does not, but it's like for me, you cannot dance forever. Your body is gonna get tired. The younger generation coming up is already crazy talented. Like they're doing half of the things you gonna wish to do in your next life, okay? You know, so it's like for me, like I just want to do what I love. I want to perform. I want to travel with artists. I want to like experience things. And just like how DJing kind of just fell in my lap.
I was just about to get to that, because I feel like you can't just be labeled as a dancer. Like you encompass so many forms of music in general, the piano, you know, dancing, DJing, and that should probably be a good story. like what was the conversation like of you know, becoming a DJ?
Honestly,
I'm actually curious, because it was with Kembe, right?
Yes, it was with Kembe, yes.
Shout out
to Kembe for sure, honestly. So spontaneous, like it was not something that I was planning in my head, okay? Like music is something to me that I always love. It was always a huge part of me, like it is everything to me, you know, but it's never something that I put out in public. Like people only know for the past year know that I play piano, because it's the first time ever that I ever put out anything that was like related to music in that sense. Like the most I used to do is maybe post in my stories, but most people, like the first post I made of piano was like a year ago, you know. So people never really knew me outside of being a dancer.
We're gonna get some violin videos.
You never know. I got time on my hands. I was thinking about it. Let's look at my violin right there.
Are you okay?
With the DJing. Last summer, you know, we went into lockdown. We had nothing to do. We had so much time on our hands. He wasn't working, I wasn't working, and we like met so spontaneously. Like I knew him for years, but we just happened to meet last summer, and we started hanging out more, and he was like, you know, your energy is like so crazy, it's so different. Like you need to be more than just a dancer. And in my head, I'm like, I am more than just a dancer. Like, what are you saying? But I guess it's like people never really knew that side of me. And I'm that person that's in the car, like, yo, pass me the aux cord. Like, what's the Bluetooth? Let me connect. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm DJing on my phone. So like,
probably that type of person that been downloading hella music on LimeWire back then. No?
Oh my God, let me tell you, I got music for days.
Yo, you could risk destroying your computer. We downloading anyway. We downloading music anyway.
LimeWire was life. Oh my God. Me and Sahar, after high school, every day we would go in front of the desktop and download music and listen to music.
Shout out to Sahar.
Wide ranges of different genres, just going in. And we didn't know what it was leading up to, you know? But then it was like, he was like, you want to learn how to DJ? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So he brought his equipment over one night and we tried it, and he was like, okay, dope, like, you like it? And I was like, yeah, come back tomorrow. And he was like, you want me to come back? And I'm like, yeah, well, if I'm going to try something, I need to really try it. Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, one day is cool, let me just move on. So he came back night after night after night after night, and like 2-3 weeks passed, and he was just like, yo, like, you blowing my mind right now. Like, you mixing better than some DJs that have been doing this for way longer.
Correct.
And in my head, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. This is fun though. And like, I never realized I was sitting down there for hours mixing music, choosing music, and he was like, your music selection is on point, your mixing is on point, you need to have your first event. And I'm like, wait, what? And so, you know, it wasn't even something that I was like, yeah, like, I'm about to take on DJing, this is gonna be great, I'm gonna be the next best. That was not in my mind. I was like, I have time, this is something new that I enjoy, I get to play music, I get to choose music, and then before you know it, I have my first event, second event, third event, and then I'm all over the place, and I'm just like, whoa, this is a new passion.
And in terms of the growth of your DJ career, how do you plan to stand out? Because you already are making waves, seen as the DJing industry as a predominantly male type of thing. And then shout out to DJ Lil R and DJ Dope Girl also holding it down as lady DJs, right?
For sure.
But like, going back to the question, like, you know, how do you plan to stand out? Because the general opinion is like a lot of music is being played, like it's being recycled over and over.
Trust me,
would you agree? Right?
That was one of the things that that was a big reason why he also wanted to teach me, because I told him straight up, I was like, yo, you and a lot of these DJs on the island, you guys kind of play the same thing. And he really didn't like to hear that. So he was like, you know what, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to put you in it, and I'm going to show you why we do what we do.
Right.
And now I have a new level of respect for them because I realize it is true. Partially because St. Martin people like what they like. They're not going out to the friend side to go listen to and enjoy themselves. They want to hear the same music over and over again, and that's not no disrespect to anybody. That's just how we are. We want to hear what we like, and that's it. Don't introduce me to nothing new. Give me one new hit song once in a while, and I'm cool. So now I'm experiencing that way. I'm like, oh wow, if I play this, they don't respond. If I play the same thing that I played last week and the week before that and the week before that, they love it. So it's been a dope experience for me to experience that, but I know within myself, all that music I've been downloading is not about to go to waste. Like, I see myself in places outside of St. Martin. Like, I got to play at Rainbow on the front side, completely different vibe. I could go in, I could express myself, I could show different genres, different styles, and it's accepted, you know, and that's what they just light me up, because it's like, oh, like, I get to show people new music. I get to do all these different things.
Man, must feel so
like,
good.
I don't want to just be a commercial DJ and play the same things that people love. It's dope, but I'm the type of person, when I'm out, I like to hear new things and be like, what's that song? Shazam.
Exactly.
Not like,
it's
okay,
like
I know every
falling
single
in love
song.
again with a new...
Exactly. And that's what I want my impact to be, slowly but surely. Like, yo, she played that song. Like, what genre of music even is that? I don't just want to do what people love, because then that means, like, I'm being scared. I'm not expressing myself fully, and I'm scared to do new things because I'm scared people won't like me. But some people won't like me. But then there's going to be other people that's like, yo, she's versatile. And that's what I want to be in, no matter what I do. Versatility in the music industry, dance industry, is number one. Key. You know? So.
How much time we got?
14 minutes.
14 minutes? Okay.
So what's questions left?
4 actually, but I'm gonna go with one important one and then future project, hobbies type of vibe. All right. Tell me one. All right, I wanted to bring up something actually very special. I kind of want to read it and then you can tell me what it means to you. If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer.
Yeah.
Let him step to the music he hears, however measured or far away.
So my mom gave me that quote when I was really, really young.
Yeah.
Ooh, turn up. Because from young, I really used to go through a lot, you know? I always felt like I never really fit in. And that's something that I really wanted as a young child. I always wanted to fit in. I always wanted to have friends because I was such a innocent soul. I didn't really understand why people just didn't accept me. Like, and my mom, she had a hard time really trying to get me to understand, like, Bianca, like, you are special, you are different, like, you shine so bright, and people don't know how to receive that. So she gave me that quote from a very young age to like remind me, like, you are going to be different, your path is going to be different. Like, even with my struggles in school and choosing to be a dancer while everybody was applying for colleges, it's like nothing about my life was ever following anybody else's path, you know? And now looking back at it, I understand now more than ever what she was trying to tell me. Like, it's okay to be different. It's okay to follow whatever drum you hear and let them step to whatever drum they hear.
Correct.
But you have to like own your authenticity, like be different and be like okay with that, you know? And that's been like my number one struggle, you know, up to today sometimes, like just wondering why I have to be on this path that's so different, because sometimes it can be lonely, you know?
Absolutely.
But now I understand more than ever, like it's like, and that's why I preach to people now, it's like, don't worry about opinions, don't worry about other people, what they're doing, what they're not doing. It's like, you have to like have this feeling in you that's like, this is right for me. That's right for them, this is right for me, I'm going to do what's right for me, you know? Because of course in society you want to fit in, you want to have friends, you want to connect to people and be alike and have something in common. But it's like, you know what, if that's not your path in life, it's not going to be, no matter how much you try. So it's like just owning who you are. And that's why I'm where I am today with this purple hair on my head.
Word. So Bianca, we discussed a whole lot. You know, usually I ask the guests like what their hobbies and interests are besides what they do, but I feel like your hobbies and interests.
Well, actually, no.
Okay, let me know.
Well, psychology is actually a huge part of my life, which is one of the questions that you asked me about, like, you know, your mindset and meditation and stuff like that. Like I said, I've been meditating ever since I was 16 years old. And that's actually one of my like future goals that I have, is like to integrate more mindfulness and more meditation into the music industry, into the dance industry, because a lot of artists are very insecure.
And it's needed.
Yes.
Well, would you consider academically?
Oh yeah, anything along those lines. But for me, because I am an artist and I see the struggles that artists go through, for me, that's where my heart is. You know, like my heart is with those people that are insecure about their work, like not sure about their work, second guessing themselves, feeling like they have to change themselves to fit into an industry that tells you need to look like this, look like that, be like this, look like that. Like, and because I've been through that and I see other people struggling with it, for me to be able to like share that type of value, like how powerful your mindset is over anything else, like I feel like that's really where my impact has been and will continue to, you know, go into just that feel of like helping people to understand their power, you know? It all starts in your mind.
Yep.
So yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this interview, yo.
Yeah, me too.
Well, if you don't already know, where can the people find you?
Listen, you'll be surprised. I don't expect people to know me now. Like, some people really just don't. I'm like, good. That's a good thing for me, you know? So then it's like, you don't have any judgments, no
and
anything.
it's humbling.
It's just like, yeah, for sure.
It keeps you to the ground.
You need to know me, it's okay. Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at bb_bad, or Facebook at Bianca Dijkhoffs, or YouTube at Bianca Dijkhoffs, or my website at biancadijkhoffs.com, or I'm also on TikTok now at bb_bad.
Damn, you got it down packed.
Down pack.
Hey, thank you so much for being on the show. Guys, if you like the episode, you know what it is. Like, share, subscribe, and see you on the next episode.